over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
So you're your biggest asset. You have to practice self-care. Every entrepreneur has to practice self-care. You have to release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. You know, toxic. You know, hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
She panicked. She a real lady. I thought she was a lady man, but she a lady.
Hey everybody. I can't tell. I can't hear anything. My earpiece isn't working. I can't hear anything. That's why.
Hey, what's up?
We're here? Alright, we're good. Alright, well, we're starting. Hey everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight for this week's Hump Day Discourse. Oh my God.
That's the Artist Exchange.
That was the Artist Exchange. Is it? Are we live? Yeah,
yeah, this one is this low.
It's just, yeah, I just don't hear anything. We good though? Alright. Yeah. As long as we good. Hi Nate.
Hey.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
From last week.
You got in trouble?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the wrong person. I shared it with the wrong person.
The person who had the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did they say? Well, now they understand better, right?
No, because I was playing a role. You know how sometimes you play a role for a second, be like, okay. Because I ain't meant the children yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be a little complicated.
Not for me. I mean,
not for you, but I mean, it just can be a little complicated. I mean, like, it should be real.
I have a tendency of being the first person that you, like, introduce to your mama and stuff like that.
Well, because you come off very wholesome and
I am. I really
you come off that way. No, I don't know how you are your personal life, but you come off that way.
I'm such a boring person.
I wouldn't call you boring because I mean, but there's plenty of, like, to me, some of the things that you do and you're interested in are interesting to me, so I wouldn't find
that's the
boring.
Artist side.
Right,
yeah.
And I'm an artist, so you understand, so I get that.
My rule, I have a 3-month rule. They don't normally know what I do until like after like 3 months. Because people don't, I'm already a Gemini, so I have to explain that to people. And then I'm going to tell you I'm an artist too, so now I'm crazy and emotional. No, I don't. So I normally don't tell
you know, but that's hard for me to understand because, you know, I love me a Gemini. Like, I got a serious soft spot for Geminis. Yeah. And it's so crazy because you wouldn't think that a Scorpio and a Gemini would work out well, but they really do, because Geminis have enough power and force to handle all the shit that comes.
Excuse me. Ambiance.
Oh, thank you.
Can you bring some chicken? I like that type of ambiance. But I don't.
You understand though? You know,
I don't know a lot about the signs. I've just been told a lot about mine.
About the two sides of you?
Right, and the only one that I really understand is Cancer, because one of my really good friends is a Cancer, and my mother is a Cancer.
Do you find that Cancers can be I mean, your mother's not going to hear this, right?
I mean, she already know. I already tell her.
Can they be a bit narcissistic or kind of self-centered?
Well, I'll say it like this. Their love turns into control.
And if they don't have control, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. Because my mother's favorite words is "shut up, you motherfucker," when you're not doing what she wants. Not to me, she wasn't abusive.
But just But I'm just saying in general, I've had my run-ins with a few cancers. Both in
male cancer's a little bit different because my male cancer friend, he's not as controlling, but he's like a know-it-all. So I will understand the narcissism from him.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've had run-ins with both female and male cancers. None of them worked out well. And it could be just the power struggle between the water signs, you know, because Cancer is a water sign, so is Scorpio. You know?
My mother's birthday was Monday.
So she's right in the middle of Cancer, so she's really...
Like, she's really headstrong, but her love turns into, like, control. Like...
Well, especially, I mean, and I found that...
And the oldest of 11 siblings.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know? And, I mean, I try to take a positive light. I try to treat everybody very evenly, unless I know you well enough to actually form an opinion. Like, I try not to form opinions on people in a selfish way. But from my experience with cancers, and I'm not saying all of them are this way, but my experience, and it could be the ones I'm attracting to my life, both friends and lovers, they've been selfish.
Well, but it's a giving type of selfishness.
Right. They're very nurturing.
They're very generous.
They're very generous and very nurturing. But it has to be their way. Yeah. Like, they can't always give you what you ask for. Yeah. They'll give you what they think you should have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I kind of feel like that's God's job to give me what I think I should have.
I would say they all have a God complex.
Yeah, one way or the other. Like,
at least a Mother Teresa complex.
Yeah, like
my mother literally used to bring home families, not like a mother and child, but I mean a mother, her 3 children, her husband, and their dog. And if their mother lived with them, their mother. But then it turns into do what I say.
Because you're
under my
roof.
I went home one time, and I believe it was right before I turned 30. You know how life sometimes hits you. I had to go back home. Yeah. And I was there for 3 months. Now, mind you, my mother had a stroke right before this.
Well, it was quite good that you came home then for a little bit. It kind of, life works out, And
then, I swear, after she got home, I lived there for 3 months. And in my mind, I was like, Life I can't go into my 30s like this.
Yeah.
I love you, but I'm gonna love you from a whole nother city.
It's hard. Like, you know, when I got my last divorce, I moved home to my dad's house for like a month, I think it was like a month or 2. And I don't even know if it was that long for real. But
I can tell you, it was 62 days and 4 hours, and I was out.
You know,
I moved out 6 o'clock.
You know what's so crazy? If you ever see me and my dad though, like, we're thicker than thieves, right? But I know his limitations, and I'm not willing to. What's the word I'm looking for? Substantiate that. You know what I mean? And like, you know, when I came back home, I think in his mind it was going to be like, oh, she's home. I got this big ass house. She'll pay half the bills and we'll just live here and she'll take the stress off of me. But that really wasn't why I was there. I was grieving a relationship. I had a small child, you know, at the time. And I needed to be banking money so that I could jumpstart my life again. Do you know what I mean? Not spending money on
your bills.
Like on bills for a house that will never be mine, and I couldn't go in there and paint it any color I wanted to and change the floors and change the kitchen and decorate and stuff like that. But I feel like if I'm paying half of the bills in the house or more, I should be able to kind of do what and it wasn't that way. It was like, no, come pay half these bills because you live here, but it's still my house and my way. He wouldn't even let me do laundry, like, unless it was the weekend, because apparently it costs more to do laundry during the week.
After 5 is when you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't home before 5, like, so it would be the evening, but I had a small child. And he was being potty trained, so you know, washing sheets and underwear and things like that, because you know,
be a whole damn load in there.
Well, it would be a whole bedding set. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole load. A blanket can be a whole load.
Nobody paying no fucking bills in here but me. Oh my God, that's.
But see, and that was where that was something I never heard, because that wasn't the truth. That was something he couldn't throw at me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
but they'll still say it though. They'll still say it.
Like, what he said was, he tried to play the martyr. He would say, well, at least I got this house for you to come home to. And I'm like, this ain't my home.
Yeah.
You know, like, this was my home. No, he's a Pisces.
Oh, wow.
He's a Pisces.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm
learning as I'm meeting and I'm understanding patterns.
It was weird to have him and my son both very...
That's enough to talk about him.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about him like that.
We're not going to talk about him.
Oh. I know you love him, and he's a great person. I'm not saying anything is wrong with him. But I know. And Daddy is great. Like I'm telling you, like Daddy is great.
Just in case he watch, he had to know it.
He can watch, because I don't say anything.
She just want him to hear it.
Hear it, Daddy, because he knows. But it was difficult living with a child Pisces and an adult Pisces, and I didn't know a lot about them at the time, not like really to be there, because I had as an adult because I was, the last time I had been there before that time I was a child, you know, and it got to the point where I needed to move so bad because I wanted to preserve the relationship that I had with Daddy. I didn't go far. I moved across the street just for a year, just long enough to get myself, so, you know.
At heart, I'm a secret mama's boy. Like I can honestly
Are you
say
secret
that.
mama's boy? Or are you like a... I'm definitely a daddy's girl, so I do.
Cry when my mother, but I would run to my room and cry when she wasn't home, or like if she didn't get home, I was thinking the worst, like somebody had did something to her. So
I do that with everybody I care about, but that's just crazy.
I've learned how to have conversations. Now this might not be as positive as people may think, but when my mother calls me, or if I call my mother, I'll just put it on speakerphone and I'll be just doing whatever I'm doing. And I'll be like, yeah, and she'll just keep going until she don't feel like talking no more. And that's how I've learned, because we used to be on the phone and we would have a good 10 minutes, and then I'll say something, and then she'll say something, and then it'll be over. But I just listen. I've learned how to listen.
And it's important sometimes, like I've learned when it comes to my parents, especially my mother, who is a beautiful, brilliant woman, which is crazy. Like, I mean, drop dead gorgeous and super brilliant woman, right? So I have so much respect for her, but our personalities clash, you know, and what I've had to do is force myself to take the high road and just know that sometimes it's better to know you're right than prove you're right.
And sometimes you have to be stern with things. Like, you know, like in my 30s, it's been a lot of life lessons smacking me in my face. So I don't care what my little cousin's been getting in trouble with in school. So I have to say, I don't care about that.
It's not a priority right now. I can't listen to this. I don't have the space for that.
But see,
right now,
you can't even explain all that. You just gotta say it, because then she will catch an attitude, and then you be like, well, I just don't. I got a lot on my plate.
I got a lot going on.
But then it doesn't turn. So now when I do it, it's not, all right, well, I'll call you later. So, okay.
Right.
I'll talk to you later.
Parents can be complicated, to say the least.
They divas.
Parents can be complicated, to say the least. And like, I love my parents, like I really do. And it's funny, the older I get, the more I appreciate like what they tried to do, because, and now that I am a parent, I definitely appreciate,
you see the sacrifice.
You know, I see the sacrifices, I understand the sacrifices, and I realize that they did the best they possibly could do with the resources they had at the time and the education that they, you know, where the level that they were at. They did the best they could.
I was the inquisitive child. I never asked a lot of questions. I just listened. I was always shy, so I would just watch. And I was nosy, so I heard a lot of stuff. So I always knew the extent. Well, I knew most of what I'll say a lot of the sacrifices my mother made. But it wasn't until she had a stroke and I was turning 30 that I learned, because she told me I taught her how to be a mother. I was her only child, and she, up until that point, she was raising her brothers and sisters.
Right.
So it's still a difference.
There is a difference, because I helped raise, I took the primary role when it came to my sister, my younger sister. But my son taught me what it was like to be a mother. My sister taught me what unconditional love felt like, because that's what I had for her. Like, I would have laid down my life for that woman. But I still will, but my son took it to another level.
See, I came in line with her youngest 2 siblings. So I'm like right there. So I was her little brother for most of my childhood. Right. So it wasn't until I was an adult, well, I say about 16, 17, when I started like, no.
That's my mother.
Running my mouth. And, you know, getting above myself, or just really asserting what I saw her do. Right. So it really, like, until I became an adult, that's when I think I started testing her parenting and really showing her what it was to be a parent. Because I did stupid stuff. I remember I was friends with a crackhead that lived in my neighborhood. I was naive, and that was part of her issue too. But I befriended a crackhead that lived in our neighborhood. And one night I was...
How did you befriend a crackhead?
I don't know.
Like, how did you meet a crackhead?
He lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
He lived in the neighborhood, and I just befriended him. And one night I was coming home. He was like, hey, I need you to go somewhere with me. And I was like, look, I'm really tired. He's like, come on, it's going to be real. I just need help moving something. And I was like, all right. So we get into what I thought was his friend's car. We drive up Liberty Road, and we're just looking at this apartment. And I'm like, what's going on? Come to find out, I didn't know what a hack was. We in a hack. He runs off somewhere and leaves me there with the hack. The hack driver is mad because he just drove from Garrison.
And he didn't have no money?
Road, no money. And I'm sitting there like, I ain't getting paid. All I have is a debit card. That guy had a gun. And I was like, oh my God. So I go home to get some cash. I forget to lock the door. He came in, he stole the TV, and he left out. So when I come downstairs
with the cash, he gone, but he took your TV.
But I didn't know he took the TV until the morning. My mom was like, "Where's the TV at?" And I was like,
"Oh shit,
I don't know."
You know what? On that note, we gonna take a break. We'll be right back with this week's Hump Day Discourse.
And that was like 22. That was like 22. I was naive.
Check out this flashback from It Is What It Is radio show.
Paul he was chilling, he was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family, you know what I'm saying? And like, for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you just like that, you feel me? It's like damn. Another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like, why?
And like again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? Gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back going like, damn, I got through that. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
you can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles. Right. They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was
Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom.
I wanted to talk to you about something, and oh wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow, busy me. So anyway.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And shit. Yeah. I guess we're back. Yeah. So we were talking about, while on our break, we were talking about our parents, and I was mentioning that, you know, I think about some of the things, like, as an adult that I understand, you know, better now that I'm grown. Like, see, I used to run up and down the street, you know, if he was outside. If he wasn't outside, I couldn't leave my step. And now I understand why. You know, like, I don't let my son run up and down the street unless I'm outside. When we did live across the street from Daddy, mind you, I grew up in that neighborhood, so everybody knew me. So I had at least a dozen pairs of eyes on my child the minute his feet hit the top step. I really didn't have to worry. But we lived in the semi-hood, you know, so I worried. So unless I was sitting out there, and we would strategically place ourselves, all the mothers, along the street and the one dad, because we had like this one dude that was like super dad. No, seriously, he would play with the kids and everything. He was cool as shit. My boy Ray. We would strategically place ourselves on steps all the way up the block, so the kids could literally have the entire block to play in versus just playing in front of 2 or 3 houses. They had a whole block. And on my side of the street, the sidewalk was wide, so they could ride their bicycles or they could skateboard. The little girls would get out with the sidewalk chalk and draw things, and I, you know, me, the artist, I'm down there with them, you know, making paint, you know, reproductions of famous paintings that they have no clue what it is. They get their first art lessons. I'm like, this is a Picasso. Picasso. Repeat after me. Picasso. You know, as I'm drawing with, you know, chalk on the ground. But you know, the boy, you know, Ray might be with the boys, I might have some of the girls, and then, you know, some of the girls might be up here, and we were just kind of strategically placed. And now, as an adult, I'm like, I get it. Because when I was a kid, I would be like, why can't I leave the stops? You know, like, I don't get it. Like, all the other kids are running around, you know, riding their bicycles up and down the street, why can't I leave the stops? And he was just like, it's safer if you play when I'm outside. Yeah. And that was just all he would say. And now I get it. You know? I mean, because I've had some crazy looking people bend the block when my kid is outside. Actually, funny, one time I was on my way to my father's house with Bud. And we just walked, because, you know, it's not far. We were walking. It was a nice walk. Just wanted to get some of the energy out the baby. I guess he's about 6 years old. So I came across, and then I walked up the street to get to Daddy's house, and there was a shooting at the top of the block. We were at the bottom of the block. But this is the part. The corner boys that bend the corner, they would come around the corner when the kids came outside. They would get out of sight. That was like their deal with the adults that lived on the block. Like, we didn't care what you did. We don't want our children seeing it. Do what you do. Get in trouble if you want to. Just don't let our children see it. When you see our kids come outside, just take it around the corners where there are no children, you know? They were good with that. One of the corner boys, it seemed like this nigga seeped up through a crack in the sidewalk. He came out of nowhere. He grabbed Bud, turned around, put Bud between him and a brick wall. Was gonna take bullets for my 6-year-old child. Mind you, I can't even tell you what that boy's name is. He didn't live around there, but he just knew, you know, he was around, and we were always I was friendly. I spoke to everybody because I mean, I don't give a fuck what you do. That's your choice, you know.
Times have definitely changed.
But to me, like, I was like, Sid, that's when I realized, like, everybody is people, you know, and you may not agree with what everybody's doing or everybody's choices, but you'd be surprised how much a smile or a good morning, how far that will go, because I had moved out the neighborhood by that point, you know. I had been gone probably at least a year or 2, 3 years, you know, like from anywhere near the neighborhood at that
people
point,
not like that. I remember as I was growing up, that's when it was starting to change, because, you know, my uncle was out there, and I know what type of person he was compared to the young boys that were coming up behind him, and it's not the same. The respect level is gone. I lived in Park Heights for about 6 months, and I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, like I couldn't. It's the level. How do you piss in front of somebody? Like
piss in front
their
of
lawn.
On their lawn, like in front of someone's home.
Like, and I lived on Righteoustown Road.
Yeah,
like,
that's gotta be hard. Yeah,
street.
I couldn't imagine living like you know, I live on a main street. You know, it runs north and it runs south, but it is not.
Is a main
Righteoustown Road is like an artery.
And it was like when you first come into Park Heights, like right past Park Sausage. Yeah, I lived right there, and it was.
Oh, it was rough. That area is just so.
Because it's
disrespected,
all young.
And you notice how the homes are starting to become dilapidated. Like, people don't care anymore. And that in the first few blocks, now you get a little bit higher, you start seeing a little bit more ownership.
Down neighborhood by neighborhood now.
Are they redoing it? It's gonna go.
And the problem with Park Heights is a lot of the older people live in pockets, but there's a lot of younger people who have homes up there.
Right, because it's affordable.
Right. So that's.
But if you could get like a bunch of young professionals, because that's all that lives in the neighborhood where I live at now. It's a bunch of young professionals, a bunch of artists. I mean, you live around the corner. You know how we are. I mean, we're all in our 30s and 40s. You know, we work and we live in our artsy-fartsy neighborhood. You know, if that neighborhood could get that kind of.
It is. Did you see Drill Park lately?
Yes.
The paddle boats and the bridge.
Yes, and the bridge and everything. Yes. Yeah. It's coming.
Oh, that's why they put the airframe up there so we can see what's happening.
Where it's happening, yeah. Buddy plays tennis, as you know, so I'm up there all the time because the tennis courts are right there, and it's just amazing to see. You know, I've fallen in love with this city because the city is beautiful. It's got personality. Like the city itself has personality, and then the one thing that I love about this city. It doesn't matter who you talking to. It could be a crackhead, an old person, a rich person, a smackhead. Like, it does not matter. They will speak to you and at least give you a grin, a smirk. You know what I mean? Like, there is a level of just Southern respect in this city.
It's just so much on people's shoulders that
it is. It comes off a little little rough. You know what I mean? But it's here. See, when I was up north. Yeah. You know, I remember my son speaking to a man. He was dressed nice and everything. I was taking Buddy to his first basketball game. He was a little boy, taking him to Madison Square Garden, and we were standing right there, literally across the street. Like, we were getting ready to cross the street, but you know how it is right there. You gotta wait for traffic, and it's a million people because the train station and everything is right there. And it's a big ass one way. So we're standing there. Buddy is friendly, as everybody knows. So he's speaking to everybody because that's just who he is. He's a Southerner, true and true. Like, it's in his blood because I didn't do it because he didn't grow up down there. Right. But he's just that way. And he spoke to this man. I think he said, "Good evening," or "Hello," or something. He was a little kid. And this dude turned around and was like, "You motherfuckers, little nigga, you don't know me. Something. What you think? You God? Like, what the?" And I was like,
there's a lot of mental disorder.
I had to pick up my child. I was like, oh, I didn't know to be mad or be protective or what. I didn't even know how to feel.
There's something clearly wrong with them. And I notice here, what is starting to happen is there's already aggression. So in Baltimore, when you speak to somebody, is a assumption of what you want.
Well, yes, because most of the time, people will speak to you because they're going to panhandle. They're going to ask you for money, or they ask you for a cigarette, they're going to ask you for something.
The other issue that's happening, and that's specifically in our Station North.
Yeah, like our little...
There are a lot of transplants that happen here.
Yeah.
So Wednesdays, I work at Impact Hub.
Okay, right there, right around the corner. Okay.
Today, literally, I sit at the front desk. So I was speaking to people, and I would notice people not even making eye contact, and they would just walk by. And I was like...
At Impact Hub, though, isn't that supposed to be this collaborative workspace with open, positive vibes? Like that whole, you know what I'm saying?
That's what the mission statement said, but that's not what happens on a regular basis. Because I was about to write a whole post, and I was like, no, this gonna be an essay. I'm gonna put this on a blog on Be Exposed.
On a blog,
because this really... The diversity issue happening here is bringing it down, and then on top of that, the city already has such a strained history amongst itself culturally, and now you got all these transplants that's scared.
And you got a lot of, it's funny that these transplants are scared too, because the big pull is from the north. We have a bunch of northern transplants coming down here because they come, in Midwestern, because they come here to go to school, you know, because we got 15 colleges and universities in the city, you know, in and around the city.
People don't realize Baltimore's a college town.
It's a college town. Like, this is really a college town.
Towson, Loyola, Coppin, Morgan, BCCC.
Right. Even all the way down to like Sojourner Douglas and UMAB and...
They're not here no more.
Well, yeah, but they were. You know what I mean? Right. It might come back, you know, it might come back. You never know. They came back before. It may come back again.
Yeah.
But I mean, UMAB, UB, you know, two law schools, you know what I mean? Like 2 medical schools. People don't realize, I mean, and 2, they're prominent schools here, you know, so people just don't even realize how much this is really a college town, you know, and we get so many transplants. And I mean, I can't even lie, you know, I'm semi-transplant, you know what I mean? But I grew up here pretty much. I got, my formative years were spent in Baltimore. My shaping years were spent
But you lived here and you immersed yourself in the culture.
In the culture.
These people refuse to do that. They come here with their ideas of what to change.
Right.
And it's not like, let me see who here, let me see what their needs are, let me see, you know, how we can meet in the middle.
We can add to the, right, because the whole point is you can't live in a community without adding to the community or taking from it. There's resources here. You're either taking from the resources or you're replenishing. And it's funny, as much as I walk around preaching my green practices, you know, and I'm like, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle, but I also end it with replenish, restore. That's the part that people miss because they eliminate that part. They're missing. It's not just about
eliminating.
Right. They're eliminating. They're reducing the amount of resources we have here. They're taking it and they're taking it elsewhere. It's the same idea that people are getting. Like, people don't realize this. It's the same idea on a local level that we have some people, because I don't, but some people have a problem with on a national level with immigrants coming in and becoming, you know, I'm saying this in quotes because I don't really feel this way, taking jobs from Americans and things like that. I gotta be honest, I don't feel that way because, and I'll say, you know, I work in construction, right? That industry calls out to immigrants because the skills are universal. Right. You know what I mean? They're universal.
Nobody wants to do the TV.
And the certain jobs like demolition, cleanup, drywall, they don't want to do it. Or like, and I swear, and I hate to say it, you know, I'm a black woman, I hate to say it, but black people are some of the only people who will come to work and tell their boss what they not going to do today.
I'm on the fence with that. One, because
I have it happen.
We dominated. I'm just saying we dominated that field for so long.
And now
we
it's
never
not.
got paid for it. Like we always got the bottom of the totem pole. We never advanced. You never heard of the black man becoming a foreman or
with that being said, my grandfather was the first black foreman at Bethlehem Steel. So it happens. This is my grandfather. This isn't my father. This is my grandfather. So it does happen. And for that matter, I'm a construction manager, commercial construction manager. I build buildings for a living. Literally.
And I think not to say what you just said is the issue, but I think that then becomes
it's an attitude, right? It became a narrative because
that
now
wasn't
it's
my experience. So we assume that it shouldn't be your experience either,
right?
And
I do have to agree with that, But I'm saying if I'm coming to you as a fellow black person and I'm offering you a contract at X amount of dollars because it's a fair rate, you know what I mean? Because it's a fair rate, don't sit there and don't try to inflate it 2 times the amount and say,
well, that's the thing that we do when we think you got a little bit of money. Well, she can pay this, then
Then right,
I can get a couple dollars. I've stopped helping people or connecting people in that way because these are your rates that you charge people, and the person who I'm connecting with, you clearly can tell you ain't never charged nobody this amount before,
right?
And you charging them that amount because you think they got a little bit of money. Like you can't gouge. You gotta plant seeds.
Right.
Every conversation I go in, I just
I'm always about the community, about helping everyone to the best of my ability. So if I'm throwing you a bone, you know what I mean? Like I got the inside scoop on this because I'm the boss,
right?
Come at me with something reasonable so we can work together. We can all eat. Don't put me in a position where I have to tell you no because you're being unreasonable.
But see, I've just recently went through that, and I had somebody send me an invoice that was like, "What did you do for this?"
Right.
Like, and I'm a person, pay artists, pay us what we're worth.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, don't just pull figures out your ass. Like, don't do that. And we all struggling, and you trying to come up on the break like, well, I don't care. Like, give me my money.
Right.
Like, that's the part where we do that to each other.
Right.
But yeah, we go to this white man job and take what he gives us. So that really, like, it takes me to another level. But we gotta learn how to. You gotta turn it off and turn it back on. We gotta learn how to like play with each other. Like I'm pushing this diversity angle with the artist exchange in my company, but I really don't even want to play with white people right now because I haven't learned how to play with my own people yet.
And that's where I'm at, and it's like, half my family's white, so I don't have it's not easy for me to discriminate against anybody. I've been discriminated against enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never black enough, or I'm never white enough, or, I'm never smart enough to hang out with the Asian kids. Like, whatever it is, it's always something. I've been discriminated against enough.
Especially in the educational aspect.
Oh, you know how it was when I was in college. Can you imagine grad school and my doctorate work? It got really real, and I was a mathematician. So it really was real because my counterparts were Asians and whites and Indians. You know what I mean? They were not my fellow African Americans. Not that I'm saying we aren't brilliant. We just don't go in that direction, not to that level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not in that field. So I'm always, trying to include everyone as much as possible. Like the reason why I like our neighborhood is because you got a little bit of everything, but I do, and the art is tangible. Do you know what I mean? It's right there. And sometimes dealing with because Baltimore is like a copper pot that's been sitting in Goodwill for a couple years. It's very tarnished. It's a beautiful piece. It's worth the buy. But you went to put some elbow grease in. And you know what I mean? And I put elbow grease in. So sometimes I just need to feel the beauty, so I need to go find the art. You know?
I've gotten tired of putting the work in. I just recently, well, I'm not finishing up a project, but I'm like at the beginning phases of a project, and I just had this white lady tell me that a lot of the people who I had been networking with and doing work with to help come in to help me support it, to bring it to another level.
Yeah, bring it to fruition.
They didn't feel as though my work would benefit them, or it wasn't. I did the same type of work that they do, but they didn't feel like it was I worked hard enough, or I put enough into it, or my work was valid. And I'm saying I ain't just do that. I ain't just wake up
and decide to do this one day.
Like, this is what I do. Like, I'm an artist all day long. I'm one of the only people that I probably went to school with that everything that I do, like from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, is work.
Yeah,
it is work. I'm at the station, I'm at this place, I'm at this place, I'm working. Like, I don't have a regular 9 to 5. Everything is a gig to me, and I make this match with that and put that together. And I've been doing this for 10 years strong. And it really, and longer than that in terms of being an artist, but professionally, no other job, no other, you know, anything. But it just, that's the part that's getting to me, because I'm watching these people work, and their work is bullshit. This work is bullshit. Like, I can see the bullshit in it. I can see it in it, but you take it so seriously that my work that comes natural to me,
you can't appreciate. And that's the other thing. Like, are people so clouded by their prejudices that they can't see the beauty in a creation? Do you know what I mean?
Though, but they see it, but they just see that I don't have to, like, we don't have to put forth that much effort.
Not as much, because culturally it's there.
Right, like,
all we have to do is tap into it. It's right there.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad,
and
right.
So all we're doing is pulling from our grandmother's story, or
our truths. We're pulling from our truth.
And they're creating these concepts. They're so conceptual, and they're
because they don't know.
Right, and it'd be like, girl, that's a big ass ball that you just created.
Right.
You ain't realize that?
Right.
That's a ball. Well, no, because ultimately, I remember my friend, he went to Micah. He did his master's degree at Micah. He was a photography major. And when his like first and second year there, he was in a class with a bunch of seniors, and he was like, Nate, please, let's talk. And I was talking about the class, and he was like, this girl did a whole project where she took pictures of tracks, hair that's just left around the street. So he said, Nathan, when you see hair outside, what you think?
I think somebody got in a fight.
Somebody got in a fight, or somebody was being real hood and taking their hair out
while they walking down the street, right?
That's the only two.
That's the only two reasons why hair would be on the
So she took pictures from Penn North to Station North to Greenmount Avenue of this hair, this randomly, and she made up this, and it's creative.
It was creative, but it was because
at the end of the day,
there was no representation of her.
He said she did her whole. This was her final senior
thesis,
project.
like her final.
Yes, I didn't even want to use the word thesis.
Right, by
because
her project.
You just never been in this environment, so the idea of there being tracks of hair randomly around. It's like, oh my God, like this is great. I'm gonna give me my camera. Somebody got into a fight and lost.
And see, and that's where I would be trying to see, because our truths are different.
Right.
I would be trying to find the woman missing the track. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or somehow like watching the track go from being a beautiful hairstyle to somehow making it on the ground.
Right. He was like,
you see what I'm saying? Like, where's the journey there?
He was like, I was with her. He was like, I was with her. He was like, it was one picture where it was a whole wig on the ground. And I was like, that bitch just got paid.
And she was like, fuck this, I'm gonna get a new wig.
He was like, I was with her. He was like, well, when she was creating this whole story of who this lady was, he was like, this is bullshit. He was like, all I can say to myself is, this is bullshit.
This is bullshit. Or what I would call bust stop. You know what I mean? That shit that you just throw together. You didn't put any heart into it.
Right.
When I was in 8th grade.
And we do that, but there's a real story behind it.
When I was in 8th grade, I had to come to terms with the reality of my family and the way it's set up and who they are and stuff like that. Well, I didn't like it. So what I did was I poured my heart out into a mural, several murals, and I painted these huge murals all over my middle school. And when
Did
I
you
was
have permission to do said mural?
I mean, the art teacher got me permission because I used to paint stuff all the time, and he knew I was just going through something, and I was like, I gotta get this out of me, you know. And there wasn't enough ballet and enough cello that I needed another medium. Like, it was just that big to me that I just needed to get it out.
As an art teacher, I always tell people, when you're bored or when you hit a plateau, try something new.
Try a new medium. And that was really where it was. Like, I could sit there and dance all day. Okay. I could sit there and dance all day. Like, all day long. And I could not get it out. And there was a fire, like a pain inside of me that I just needed to get out. So this art teacher, being this wonderful man that he was, I wish I could remember his name. I could draw him right now. Like, I remember everything about him. He had long blonde hair. He had blue eyes. He was kind of a hippie. He drove a old mail truck that he had bought from the post office, and he had painted it. Like, and he had this hippie girlfriend who wore what looked like a gypsy costume. You know, it was just always a lot of things dangling from her, and she made a lot of noise. But she was also an artist. And she was studying at Micah at the time. It's funny, I remember all this. Mind you, I was like 12 years old. And he got me this permission to paint this mural, and it took me the entire school year. I went back to see that mural. I guess I was about 30. It was still there. It was still there. Like, they had not painted, or they had touched it up, but it was still there. And I saw the pain that I had gone through. I saw the pain that I had gone through, you know, as that artist, you know, like, as that time. But I also know where I finished once I went through it, but I actually went through a journey. All right. We're going to take a break now. I got to figure out what's going on with this microphone. We'll be right back with Salacious Live.
Everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. So,
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
Be Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
I'll give you an example of mine, and this is real simple, but I know I'm not the only one that this happened to. So I went to Target last night, and I'm shopping. I'm just filling my cart with this and that. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, a little Christmas gift right there. Get to the register. They ringing it all up, and they say, ma'am, your total is blah, blah, blah. I open my wallet. I go in my wallet, and my debit card is not in there. I was caught slipping, y'all. I was caught slipping. Oh, my wonderful merchandise. I had to leave there at the store because I was caught slipping. I didn't have my card. Now, I know I'm not the only one that has happened to. For sure. Alright, so
before I walk into places I check, I'd be like, hold on, before I go in and touch anything, let me just
I know. I probably will do that now. I probably, hopefully.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Black by Demand radio show.
2 years ago. If you broke that bike and it don't work, that's on you, brother. I suggest you get that toolkit out back and then start working with it, right? Yes. So my son's looking at me like, wow. And I broke down to him how we had got fixing flat tires down to a science. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? Sticking the tube in the water. Right? Talk to me, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, critical thinking. And see, and we look at that now, and like kids, they not as on hands like we were back in the day.
That's because nowadays you don't have to put the bikes together anymore. They can come assembled.
Yeah, everything's coming assembled.
In the store, they ask you like if you want it already assembled.
Right.
Back then, you just got the box with 1,000,000 pieces.
Right, and today I don't think they could work with that.
It's just like the thought process. Nowadays, you get a bike that's already put together. Now, when you were younger, you had to put this bike together.
You got to put it together.
That basically closes your mind into learning how to do something. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now you're giving it something. So, okay, you take this, and this is what it is.
Right.
So now we have to run with this instead of teaching the child. This is how you put this together, so you see the result as this.
Right. Critical thinking. I like that. Absolutely. So look, not to cut you off, Mr. Denise, but let's go to our first commercial break, and then we're gonna come back and finish talking about critical thinking.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Oh, well, we're live. They making fun of me, guys. We're back, and they're making fun of me because they're saying that I'm saying the only thing that larger men are good for is security. I completely disagree because your ass could have been carrying them tools up on the roof for me earlier today too.
You gotta carry something. I gotta transport.
He take this trash out. No.
Help move.
No. The only thing I've ever expected from you is to be on time and open my doors for me when I'm right there. Facts. And I do that with every man. It doesn't matter if you're skinny, big, little. My son opens my doors because I'm like, no, fuck that. You will open this door and I will stand there.
They out here grabbing the doors. I open up my own fucking door.
No, fuck that. I'm a lady.
Well, you are ready.
Fuck that shit.
I had people hit me with that. I can do it.
Yeah, I know. I can do it too. My arms aren't broken. I sit there and build things for a living. There's nothing wrong with my arms. However,
I try to open the door.
You know, there's a certain there's a rapport you have with the people around you. You know what I mean? And that rapport should be something that feels along the lines of respect for the people around you. The same way I turn around and make sure that if someone opens the door for me, they hear me say thank you.
Well, you sound like you've been around your daddy for more than 4 times, so that's normally what that means.
But that's daddy? Yeah, because now
seen him a couple times.
You know what's so crazy? Now it don't even matter like where I'm at in the car. I could be driving, I could be in the passenger seat. If my son is in the car with me, he likes to jump out the car and try to open my door for me. And if I open my own door, he sounds just like my father. He'll say, "Oh, you open your own doors now?" And I'm like, apparently not.
A lot of people don't get that.
Start early chivalry. I start early.
He definitely has that. I'm nervous at the fact that he seems to have it down so well that women are already responding to him. If he continues on this path, I'm gonna be dealing with a lot of girlfriends for, you know what I mean, with a lot of BS. You don't think so? You think he'll be choosy?
They don't like nice guys.
They don't like nice guys.
They definitely don't.
And that's crazy because I think a nice guy is like an amazing thing.
I mean, if you're not punching them in their face, that's not love.
The fuck, yo?
That's not love. Yeah.
Whatever happened to, you know, holding hands and snuggling and fucking real good at the end of the night? Like, what happened?
There's a lot of false reality.
Right. Housewives of X, Y, and Z. That shit don't happen on there.
And only like 2 of them are actual wives.
And one of them a little shaky. That relationship ain't real.
Now, you know what's crazy? Like, I have a hard time with reality television. Because it doesn't feel... It's not my reality.
You need a dose of
Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't... That's not my reality. Like, we could have a reality television show where somebody could come follow me on the complex and watch all the people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm the female boss. You know what I mean? Or y'all can come to Be Exposed and see all of us artists in here doing our thing. Or come to my house and see my crazy ass kid, you know, being himself. Like, that's a reality to me. Like, the shit that I see on TV is a bunch of people with a bunch of money, and we're watching and we're idolizing them.
No money.
Or whatever. You understand?
I don't
like,
watch
we're
the
idolizing
shows anymore.
Dumb people.
I don't watch the show anymore. I like to watch what they call the reunion show, because in my mind, I just like to piecemeal the storylines. Like what happened. Like in my mind, I like to put together the stories. I can't watch the show no more.
Right.
But it's not real. It's
real. I think.
I mean, it's definitely well, you know what it's like. It's like wrestling, and you know I'm a big fan of WWE. However,
I hated wrestling when I found out it was fake.
But it's hard when you find out. When you first find out it's fake, it's hard.
That first time you saw his foot stomp.
Brock Lesnar because he went outside of it, got into MMA, and started fucking.
Pick him up, right?
You know what I mean? But wrestling is just it's all scripted.
Yeah.
It's so scripted now, and that's how I feel about reality television. It gives me the same feeling. That feeling that you had the first time you found out that WWE, back in the day, WWF when we were little, you know, WWF was
when I
scripted.
saw Hulk Hogan react to a punch that he didn't receive, that's when that was my last time, and I was mad. But
I mean, I get it.
We all had to go through that phase.
I watched The Undertaker kick Kane off the top of a ladder, but he never actually connected with him. Yeah. And Kane did this whole dramatic, like, did y'all watch any of the World Cup? No. All right.
I was busy that day.
During the World Cup, when the soccer players score, they, do the slide. Well, when they get fouled, they fall out like little girls. I mean, it'd be extra. Yeah. Well, that was how Kane fell off this damn ladder. He was just so extra, his big ass. Yeah. And I was like, that's so fake. And I looked at.
Was that a real? You was at a live game? A live. Yeah, that's when I. That's when I was like,
this is not real. I was with my brother, and I remember looking at him, and he looked at me. Mind you, he was a big Kane fan, and I was a big Undertaker fan. So it was like cool for us to be there. We're siblings. They played siblings. You understand? Like it was like a big deal. So we're sitting there, and we both looked at each other like we just wasted like $70.
No.
Like this shit is so fake.
Oh, y'all had good seats. Y'all had good seats.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if we was going to have seats, we was going to have good seats. Like, fuck that. If we was going to go, we going. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I mean, I like live anything these days. I met him.
I like live singing.
I met him at, where did I meet you at? Did I meet you at Reverb, or did I meet you at Bars on the Bay?
So why didn't anybody tell me this Reverb place is actually in Charles Village?
It's a block away from my house.
So I'm walking by and I just see it. I see Reverb on that.
You see us all the time.
I thought it was like a place for like white coat people. I didn't know it was like.
It's a place.
The new it spot.
I have to say this. It's a place for everyone. And I didn't know. I didn't know it was a place for everyone until I went on New Year's, because everybody, New Year's was amazing. Yeah. And I'll tell, because I was in a bad mood, as you know, I was in a bad mood, and I said, you know what, I just need to be around some family. Right. My best friend was performing, Sully was performing, so I was like, I was gonna go down and support him. He was like, I'm gonna come scoop you up. Let's just get out the house tonight. Let's not sit in the house tonight. Keisha was supposed to come, and she had some things go on, and some other people were supposed to come, but I went. They represented every kind of music you could possibly think of, like genre. There was somebody there doing opera, reggae, hip hop, classical, like anything you could think, folk. Like Amber was singing with a ukulele. You know what I mean? Like it really was a little bit heavy metal, rock and roll. It was a little bit of every. It was something for everyone.
Right.
There, like literally something for grunge. It was something for everyone.
Ukulele.
And I said to myself, and it was like a little bit, and the crowd was very diverse, as always is, very diverse. And I thought to myself, this is a place for everyone. That's probably why I tend to gravitate back there, because the energy is good. They don't discriminate. They don't care who you are. They support everyone in everything they do. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't try to rake you over the coals with fees and things like that. They're helpful. They're friendly.
Yeah, food.
I always have food at all my events.
Okay.
I have food at every single one of my events. So every conclave that I've ever had always has food. That's why, I mean, you know, ask Monty and Nikki, because they card carrying members of the conclave. They've been to all of them. There's food at every single one.
You call me because I need a snack. It's a part of my life.
I mean, it's just down the street.
For me to come out my house, there got to be a snack there.
I agree. And like, you know, conclave is typically sponsored by some liquor, wine, beer, something. So like the last one
do a nice ginger ale with
was
sour
gin.
mix.
Well, I mean, the last one was sponsored by, so I had gin for everyone that was there. There's also a bar, and there was juices and sodas and things like that. I had food and everything. I think we were talking about, the last one was Sensual Touch. So we had the masseuse there, literally
I don't let people touch my
teaching us how to massage our partner properly, so that we give them actually a good massage, but touch. But still it's touch. You know what I mean? How to touch someone in the right places, the right way. Like, we had a whole lesson that I just narrated. Now, typically with conclave, like, you know, it's a conversation. It's interactive. One of our co-hosts was the model that night. Mimi laid out and let this guy.
Let me stop.
Yeah, you know, she loves the spotlight, and I was with it, you know, and she loves to be touched. So there we go, perfect, because I don't like people to necessarily touch me, you know. So it was nice to have her there as a model. She's got a nice body, so it was nice to just have her laid out and him give her this massage. But he really went through it. He actually put 4 tutorials from Conclave on YouTube that anybody can go on now. His name is his name is Benjamin. And
I think I know.
yeah, and he put these tutorials from Conclave on YouTube where you can really see. He talked about cupping, how to massage properly, how to do the butt, how to do the back, how to do the breast. Like, he went through the whole thing, you know, feet, the whole 9 yards, you know. And we ate and we drank and we talked about that, and everybody left there with their, you know, sexual education a notch higher.
When's the next one?
So I'm putting it together because, you know, I work in that entertainment company, and we have a lot of shows. I think the lineup hit Facebook today. We got like 8 shows over the next like 5 weeks. Putting together a conclave takes a lot of energy on my part, because one, I have to prepare. I have to make sure I have the information that I'm trying to translate, you know, because it is interactive. I don't want somebody to ask me a question that I don't have the answer to, or at least I'm that far gone from it that it just surprises me. Now, every so often I get a question like, well, what does it feel like to get coke blown up your ass, or something crazy like that? And then I can't.
You got coming to this, right?
Actually, you actually know the person who made that comment. So. But I mean, it took me way, and that was the first time I was sitting there and I was like,
only in Baltimore.
Right. You know.
They probably was serious. That's a crazy one.
I think she was serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's snitching on people.
I think she was serious, but it was definitely, it took me back. You know, it took me back. I don't like that to happen too much. I don't mind if you surprise me with some shit, you know, because I mean,
you ain't never heard that before?
Not before that day.
You ain't late.
I didn't watch Wolf of Wall Street close enough to remember the part where cocaine ended up up someone's ass. Yeah, I just don't remember that part. I don't.
can imagine somebody asking that.
And can you imagine me sitting on stage, right, with erotic dancers dancing around me, and we're having this salacious conversation, and I was like,
yeah, I want to know what it's like to get coke blown up your ass. What's that like?
Right, and then have anal sex. That was the whole. And I was because we were talking about anal sex.
So
now my dick will shrink.
So coke get inside the hole.
I don't know.
Of your penis.
I don't know.
That's true.
But I would think that you would get high, like the male would get high.
White people.
Because
No, I don't wanna get
the
high like
skin on your penis is so thin and sensitive that it would get in your bloodstream pretty quick. I would think. I don't know.
Popeye's chicken
Just
and
like-
biscuits get in my stream real quick. So
You said Popeye's
that's my-
chicken?
Yeah, that's my cocoa choice. Crack is whack.
I agree. I don't know exactly how it works. I didn't look into it
You sound
very much.
interested, and it's real nervous.
Huh?
I'm real nervous. You sound like you want to do the research.
Well, I don't want to experience it, but I would like to understand.
You want to watch it?
No, I don't actually like watching anal sex. Like watching it, you know, like that just doesn't.
It's like even when she moans, it looks painful.
But it's not.
Are we talking about a person?
I can imagine it's not painful, but even
What, coke up somebody's head?
No, just anal sex in general.
it looks painful even when she moans.
Even when she moans.
So like they'll have a shot underneath and shit going inside. You'll just hear her moaning, but it's like it don't look like you should be moaning.
Like it's terror.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I can't watch it because it looks painful.
Dick is nothing. If you like coke up your ass, then
Dick is nothing, right? Shit, you could probably put a
That's-
Coke bottle up there and enjoy that shit. You know, like the fuck. I'm not with it though. Like I can't. No. But I mean, we you know, that particular one. I think we were talking about the 3 stages of sex. You know, at that conclave. You know, where we were.
Was it live sex?
We did not have live sex that day.
Okay, that day. The next one.
No, I haven't done any like live, like explicit conclave since I moved back north. You know, like I did a lot of that in the South because it's less taboo. Believe it or not, it's more taboo up here in Baltimore to have somebody like literally fucking in front of you than it is in the South. People in the South nasty. They don't care.
I mean, have you tried it up here?
What? Oh, tried doing it up here? I kind of sent out feelers, you know, to the regulars, you know, people who follow me, you know, read my stories, read my books, read my advice, people who call, you know, reach out to me for relationship advice and stuff like that. And I just said, how would you feel? Like, would you ever want to see this? Blah. A lot of lifestyle people, because I'm like, you're lifestyle people. Like, you're having sex in front of people all the time. You know, how would you feel about watching and critiquing?
Whoa, so a lifestyle person is
lifestyle, like they're into swingers.
Oh, okay.
So they typically go to events and things like that where you may have 10, 15 couples in the same house swapping and switching partners. So you're, you know, so you see a lot of other people having sex. But I was like, could we look at it with a critical eye? Because the conclave is supposed to be educational. You know what I mean?
Can you give like
can we
pointers,
can we give pointers, right? Can we look at it and say, hey, you know, move to the left, move to the right. You might want to do a dip with it or come from above, or, you know, hey girl, you're not quite riding that right. Let me show you, get up on your toes so that you get more. Well, I wouldn't like show her, but I would help place her.
Let me show you.
Let me move your feet so that you get better leverage, you know, whatever, you know.
Wow.
So
people actually like demonstrated this, like people were open to demonstrating.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I would mind watching.
The only time I've actually watched live sex being demonstrated since I've been in Baltimore was at Impact Hub. Actually, they actually broke a table. They were having sex on a table.
What was going on there?
We one of my friends that kind of works in the same realm as I do was having a show up there, and this couple.
Was it planned? Was it part of the show?
No, it wasn't planned, but it was kind of part of the show. Just like, you know, I performed BDSM on this chick at that show. It was not planned because they didn't even know I was fucking coming until I showed up. You know what I mean? So it wasn't particularly planned. And these kind of shows typically aren't. You have like kind of a loose idea of the direction you want the show to go in, and you kind of have it loosely planned out, but you keep it loose because things like that can happen. Right. So, you know, you may have spontaneous sex break out. So, and then everybody's eyes goes to the spontaneous sex and you start critiquing. So, you know, the girl is getting it from the back, and she's laying across the table, and we're hearing it crack. So I'm telling him, you know, stop hitting so hard, come from underneath so that you're not pushing the table, but you're coming up under her. We're all like literally giving them pointers as they're having sex.
And they're not listening because they broke the table.
Because they broke the table. Like, I mean, the table, like, they both went down. The table went swish, swish.
Did they finish? Right.
I don't think they finished because it really, like, it was like one of these, like, splatter moments.
Because those tables are a little weak.
They're a little weak. Like, they seem like an IKEA type, you know, composite wood table, not like solid wood.
Furniture, yeah.
Right, like starter furniture. And they were up on this table, not up on it, but leaning over it, but enough that this little small table could not handle the weight.
It may have been good to him. Maybe he was...
Oh, I think it was good to him. She was grabbing at nothingness, and he was in a zone. You know how y'all eyes roll back in y'all heads when y'all get in the zone. Y'all do this whole head back thing. He was there, you know. So it was definitely good. But I'm thinking about the logistics of it all.
He's not been there yet.
I don't do that.
You don't roll back in your head?
I want to see
it. Don't never feel that good to you that you don't take a minute and be like,
I get like a nice little I let out a nice
But that's at the end though. That's
but I'm locked in. I want to see everything.
You would. Well, see, you're probably one of those people who is aroused by your partner's arousal. Does that make any sense? Like, you watch them build up and you get built up. See, we already know you're selfish.
It's like
a selfish lover. We already know.
I'm not selfish. If I'm having fun, then you gotta be having fun.
Not necessarily. You should at least once in a while open your eyes and peek up and see if the other person.
I don't trust people enough to have my eyes closed.
Oh shit.
No, for me it's like it's more of like it's the I look at the lines. So like when I say that, it's like silhouettes, shit like that. I like that shit.
Yeah.
Especially like when a girl.
That's
like,
the artist in them.
Especially like.
You know what I mean? That's the artist in them. Because I'm like
nice
that.
Figure, when a girl
right.
has a nice figure.
There is nothing like a beautiful curve. You know, like just. That's why I can't leave women alone, because there is a curve there that is just not found anywhere else. That shit is amazing. It is amazing. That's one of the reasons why, you know, it is what it is right now.
Get your yoga in, get them curves together.
Keep them curves right. You know.
I love the lines, like the spinal dip.
Yeah, that little, just like, you know, and on a man it's funny because I love the line right here. What's it called? Androgynous line or something like this? It has a name.
It's the V.
But the V. You gotta love the V. You watch that. I mean, something about that. It just gets you every time. It's right there, huh?
I've been working out.
Trying to get that V.
I still got my V. It's just underneath my stomach.
Well, who cares? If it's there, it's there. Like I know, like I can, like to me, weight and things like that are of no consequence because I'm not a person who.
Well, we got one there. It's there. It's there.
Right, it's there. Like it's nothing wrong with it. And for real, like people with a little weight to them tend to feel better.
Now, when you work
like
out
in your hands,
you have to be
you know what I mean?
careful.
Like they feel better.
You have to be very careful. That muscle is really sensitive. I had joined Planet Fitness, and this machine was really easy to do those crunches, and I was like, "This is easy. Okay, I can do this shit." And I was good until I tried to stand up, and that muscle was like,
and you was like, "Nah."
I had to figure out how I was gonna get over to the shower,
the locker room,
from where I was standing at. And when you know how the dressing room is across
the way, yeah.
And I didn't even make it to the shower. I was like, I gotta get in some room, and I almost died. I almost died trying to straighten my body out. I thought that was it. I was sitting there crying.
Where are you working out at?
Planet Fitness.
You are working out. Me too. Yeah. Like we all like. I'm not great at it, and I have to say, since I started this new project, I haven't been working out as much because, shit, I was looking at my little counter on my phone. I'm putting in 20,000 steps a day. Mind you, I'm climbing on roofs and up in ceilings and checking things out and making sure I understand things. So, like, I'm getting so much exercise at work.
But it's
by the time I get home,
the other stuff,
right?
Because I used to walk down here and I used to walk back up, and it works because you start dropping weight. But nothing's tightening.
Nothing's toning. And that's where I'm at now, is that I think, and it's funny because my My personal problem area is my legs. Like, I'm a small person. I have a decent figure. I got a bikini body. I didn't know that until my little vacation last weekend.
We
But
don't
I'm
got bikini bodies.
Yeah.
Well, other people think we got bikini.
Well, right, no, I mean, I don't care if other people think so. I feel comfortable in my bikini. Like, I did. I was standing, I was like, okay. There's places I wish were a little bit tighter. You know, some post-baby stuff that's kind of been lingering around for the last 10 years. That stuff I'm going to have to do at the gym. That's not going to happen at home. It's not going to happen at the work. Like, I have to go to, like, I have to do specific exercises that target, like, one place, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? To get that going.
We talked about it, and I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to get me, like, trying to get my chest tight, my stomach tight, so I can get my tattoos. I'm gonna get tatted up.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation, like a good half-hour conversation at work the other day about tattoos. I was like, we had a whole conversation.
Sorry. I wanted to make sure that's what she said.
That's what I said. But then we did. We were talking about, you know, you was talking about your 4-pack, right? And you said, you was like, I just need a 4-pack.
At least a 4-pack.
But you know what? I don't think you need a pack at all. Like, just
I want a pack.
You want a pack though. Like, you know, I've dated plenty of guys that didn't have any packs at all. You know what I mean? They were just like what I would call like a normal size guy. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get like a cut up 280, 260.
I just don't want this. Like
get your lats too big that your arms sit out. Yeah. You gotta be careful building up these muscles. Oh, okay. Well, since we only have 30 seconds, we might as well take our break now, and we'll come back for this week's Hump Day Discourse.
Yeah. What is the Hump Day Discourse?
That's it.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
Within our community, we got to look at ourselves and love and support each other. However, when we bring color into the perspective, we are no longer looking at each other as equals. We are dividing ourselves even more so than what society divides us. We're already divided with inequality, not unequality, but inequality within a system that is meant to keep us down. Here we are yet again doing things that are detrimental to our survival and sustaining of a fruitful living. We're causing more mental health issues upon ourselves in our own society and our own communities by talking about the difference in complexion, even when it gets down to the point where we discriminate upon each other. I've often felt that I have been discriminated against even with my own people when it comes to me going into a business that is black owned and black operated, and I get up service and then I never want to return and into that establishment because the service was so up. I support those who support me. It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are. If you are a peaceful person, peaceful, loving person who believes in equality, I will love and support you with the same effort. However, being black and supporting black and acknowledging that I love the...
Make sure you check out McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the club that gives you stuff. Hey, thanks! Radio Loyalty. Here's how it works. Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right? Radio Loyalty. Click that banner to join now.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, the sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals they're like one of the worst teams in the major leagues
Baseball
right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have
the top record, it belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and they...
Hey, this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, we are back. So, Icon, thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem.
We know everything about Nate. What's going on with you? What's going on in your life? What's new? What you got coming up?
Just working, man. I'm real focused right now.
Pull your mic over a little bit.
Oh, I'm real focused right now. I've been doing, trying to get this music and stuff right.
Yeah, how you doing with that? I mean, I already know you're a dope lyricist, but
yeah, I'm working on like I'm trying to master putting as much lyrical content into catchy songs. So you think about how
because that's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard because like catchy songs typically don't have a lot of like substance,
right.
Which is why I have a hard time with today's catchy songs. Don't have a lot of substance, which is why I think me or my generation, a lot of it has a hard time with the newer music. And you are so lyrical that it wouldn't seem right. Like I've heard a song that you've done that was just kind of catchy. You didn't do a lot of lyrics, and it was for me personally a bit of a disappointment because the first time I ever saw you perform, like you let loose. It was like poetry to music. I was like, I remember looking at Sully and saying, who the fuck is that? That's why I can't remember which show I saw you at. I met you at first because I clearly remember the first time I ever saw you perform. You had on white. Right. And I looked over at him. He was standing right beside me because, we're always right next to each other. He was standing right. And I said, who the fuck is that? He said, oh, that's my man Icon. Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah. And I really did. Like, and it wasn't that the beat was particularly catchy. Right. His lyrics had you, it was like reading a really good book. You couldn't, you move from word to word to word.
What typically happens is nowadays the beat is what catches the listener. Right. And it's not the lyrics.
Right.
So.
Well, that's because most of us are West African in descent. Not me, but most of us.
A lot of people use
count beat is going to catch.
A lot of people use the beat to capture the listener, and what I try to do is I try to make my vocals or my lyrics basically another instrument.
And it should be.
So you hear my lyrics over the beat. So it's not. I don't want my beats to catch you. I want my lyrics to catch you.
And that's where I was. Like that's how you caught me. Yeah. And why like I followed your career. Yeah. Since that day. It was because I hear at that same show, I heard a lot of catchy beats, nice. Oh, this is nice. I know a lot of sound engineers that create these beats, and I'm like, these are nice beats. Yeah. So what are you gonna say? Right. What are you gonna do that makes me think about this song later? Because a beat isn't gonna stay with me as much as like serious words will stay with me. When I tell you, he's listening to him is like, reading a classic. No, I'm serious. Like you stay with it's like it's a page turner. Mm-hmm. His songs are page turners. You could read his songs. You could read his songs. You don't have to hear them.
So that's what I'm focused on with this new project. Lyrics are always the most important to me. After the lyrics, I like a nice groove. Because people got to be able to move.
Gotta have
stuff,
a groove.
So that's what I'm focused on.
A groove with some good lyrics.
With some good lyrics.
That's always good.
Nice bounce, some stuff for the club. The project is called Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts, which is basically
Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts.
Yeah. So it's basically like you have that wild side, you have that wild night. Mm-hmm. And that's basically when you talk about your drunk mind would be the beats. Mm-hmm. It would be the trap, the turn up type beats, but your sober thoughts are the lyrics.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you're talking real.
Because everybody has just that sober thoughts. Like you'll be drunk, you'll be hot, whatever.
Even when you drink, the truth comes out. You feel me? So all
That's
that.
why I don't drink.
Yeah, all that plays a part into this project. So I have like some deep stuff. I have some turn up stuff.
That's what's up. Keep it. What's it? Versatile.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Keep it versatile because that way all of us can enjoy it. You know, I want to be able to go to a concert with a diverse crowd. And all of us have a good time. Like all of us have something that we, love.
I don't want 2 tracks to sound the same. So
I don't blame you. Because one, you don't want to be. What's the word I'm looking for? You know how actors get typecasted. You don't want to be typecasted. That's the word I was looking for. I knew you would know, even though you didn't say anything. I knew you would know.
I want you to search for it. You gotta search for
I had to search for the word. I've been searching for the words a lot. I don't know what's going on with my vocabulary. But it's just not working today.
Yeah, you think it's too fast.
Yeah, you're moving too fast.
You're probably right.
Too fast.
You're probably
but other than that, we doing Artscape this Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I'll make my way.
9 p.m. We doing the night stage, so it's the party time. So it's gonna be dope. We got a dope lineup, and then August 23rd we got MOP and AZ at Soundstage.
Which stage are you on?
Charles Street, right before North Avenue. We're gonna be on that. It's gonna be
Oh, so he could be right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you like I can just skip on down, listen to you, and skip my little ass back up in the house. Oh, that's
gonna be dope.
Perfect.
It's gonna be dope.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
This shit gonna be lit.
This is big.
And I'm definitely coming to see you. Oh, well, we're gonna go to break, but I'll definitely come see you when you open for AZ.
Definitely.
We're going to break. We'll be right back.
This is big. You gotta literally go on.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council. Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Check out this flashback from Sunset Soul Radio.
You know, just us as a people, I feel like you should not feel good about that. I'm not quite sure why you would feel happy. Like that's the part I don't understand. Like I can appreciate the women feeling like, they told their story and finally justice is going to be served, but I don't understand the feeling happy about it, or the thought that as a woman, which I've been hearing that a lot as I hear people talk about it, and I look at it on Facebook, and I've heard other radio stations speak on it. It's like you should.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
You know what I mean? Because otherwise, unless you're performing in a show that I'm helping to produce, I don't really see you.
Is it still at the wind up spot?
Huh?
Is it still at the wind up?
What, my open mic?
No, the B Club.
Yeah, B Club.
And I mean, wind up space is literally 3 blocks
stopped
away.
throwing shows and all that shit.
Oh, it was back live.
I think I went to one, but they ain't had no food up at the one.
Yeah, they ain't got no food at the one.
They don't have food at all. Like never. That's always difficult. I mean, because you need
that food
snacks.
license, you need the
Food licenses are hard, but see, that's why Reverb can do what they do because they're not what's it called? They're not zoned as a commercial space. They're zoned as a private club. So it's different.
Even if you get a food truck, you right on North Avenue.
Yeah.
So like, it's not really no parking space.
Right. You'd have to get a permit to have the food truck stay there.
Well, right there. Because I've done a couple festivals.
Well, the bus lane is right there now. Isn't there a bus lane? The Gold doesn't have a bus lane right there?
Because we did a couple festivals right there, the Why Not? And
Why Not?
Sharif's always parks right there in front of it.
But that's Sharif's. He's
ain't nobody fucking with Sharif.
Yeah, like nobody. Everybody knows who that is. Like, police officers are not going to say anything to him. They're going to go get some food. Right. Everybody knows that. Yeah. So, like, that's different. That's like a
plug.
That's right. It's the plug. And that's something that I found I love about Baltimore. We have a bunch of like, oh no, we gonna go to so and so because so and so the plug for this and so and so the plug for this. Like, you know, the collaboration that I've seen since I've been back in the city has, especially on an art level, music level, has been much better than it was when I was younger, looking for that level of collaboration. You know, with things. You know, when I was still dancing full time as a professional dancer. You know, when we would put on shows and stuff, getting that collaboration where, you know, I might be able to get an AV person to do this because I'll go do something for him and you know, like the bartering and collaboration and everybody can eat mentality just wasn't around 15 years ago. It seems to be coming.
It's getting better. It's still too cliquey though.
It's very cliquish still.
The hustle is very dry now.
Cause I remember when we needed money, it wasn't nothing we couldn't sell.
Right.
You feel me? But at the same time, I understand why it died down, because you got crazy motherfuckers that like stick needles in chocolate candy bars and shit, so you can't really sell to people. They don't know what the fuck.
What's going on?
You remember like a couple years back and they had the little Halloween.
Scared because people putting needles in their candy.
Stabbing needles in the chocolate and shit.
It was bad.
Halloween. I never been.
But niggas used to sell frozen cups. Niggas used to sell all that shit. Like before snowballs was even invented, it was frozen cups. But nigga, like, you buy like little 50 pack of styrofoam cups and just pour some Kool-Aid in that motherfucker and freeze it and sell them bitches 50 cents a pop.
Yeah. I mean,
Easy
frozen
money.
cups was like the thing.
Frozen cups was the shit.
There's only now, like, it used to be 3 or 4 frozen cup ladies per neighborhood. Now you might have one. And
that's a lot. That take a lot of, because you gotta have a deep freezer. You gotta, if you're really in the game like that.
Put in the regular freezer.
If you in the game like that, you need a deep freezer.
Yeah, you need a deep freezer.
Because them things don't freeze like they do it.
Can't no children running around with the shit gonna tip over.
Don't shake.
No, don't shake.
But yeah, you're right though with the hustle. Like, you used to could sell anything. You know, like I saw a woman today. I was walking home from somewhere, I don't remember, but I was walking and I saw this woman today, and she was sitting on the steps and she was playing her little guitar and she had her little hat out, you know, and I was thinking to myself, like, she's hustling her art, right? But then I was watching as people gave her dirty looks as they walked by her, and I remember a time where people would stop, gather. It didn't matter what you were playing.
Well, see, I'll say that right there has gotten. It's been a lot of like BS out there. Like the man who played the song and it'd be like, sure they playing, he just picking on the radio. I mean, picking on his little guitar. He ain't playing it. Just playing
with it, right? But she was like playing. She didn't have any music. She was like, she was the music, you know. And
people so secluded, man. You know, people got their phones now. They can't get out their phones.
Yeah,
it just brainwashed. You feel me?
I just feel. I mean, the analog life is gone now. We're in a digital era, and we're dependent on like, I just had a whole blow up on Comcast because I'm so dependent on my fucking Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Like, I had
Verizon in front of morning.
I ain't say it. You know, but like, I had a whole blow up with them like right before I left to come here.
Yeah.
You know, because I have research I need to be doing.
Right.
You know, I have drawings I need to do. They're all web based. I need a strong Wi-Fi signal. I don't want to always be using my hotspot. I want something real.
Well, I think in that area is weak in general. For some reason, I just think it's weak, especially like the later it gets, the weaker the signal gets.
But I'm like, I'm sitting right next to my damn modem. Like, you know, I hardwired into it. It's a brand new modem. Like, you know, I even hardwired into my modem and the shit wasn't working. I was like, you know what?
And that's that Wi-Fi on the go. People stealing shit. They ain't stealing it, they paying for it.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of the stuff that we use electronics for, yeah, it makes it easy, the stuff that we do, but it ain't like you can't do it without it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I mean,
make you feel like
but I mean, like, my cat, like, the problem is that like our life has, my cat, like, they don't send you discs anymore for programs anymore. Like, you don't have things you can download onto your computer and use it offline. Like, everything is in the cloud or in the web or web-based or what have you. So I need a constant feed, you know. And if I'm making measurements or designing something, like, it's like writing a song. I can't be interrupted while I'm doing it. I get a flow, and then my Wi-Fi goes down.
Well, I think we asked for those things because when everything was on DVD or
I liked it.
Like,
it didn't bother me none.
But the motor was getting too hot. Everything was overheating, and
it's true that
it wasn't. You know, we kept getting little pieces that had to get fixed, and that cost more than the damn laptop itself. So
then they got rid of the CD-ROMs.
The progress and understand the BS that come along with it.
You know, and I kind of get it. Like, I really do kind of get it. But I hate feeling dependent on anything except for my own brain.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a plot to immobilize the human.
We're gonna all be. Have y'all seen Wall-E?
Oh yeah, that's my shit. That's
you know what I'm talking about.
That's how it's gonna be.
It's gonna be like that. All of it's gonna be big. And like our legs and arms are gonna it's not like, it's just gonna be like hands sticking off of a big ass, you know, body, and we're gonna be drinking everything out of a fucking shake.
Last year I had a really good summer last year, and I never treat myself as an artist.
Yeah.
And I found myself, I was Ubering it back and forth to work. I was Uber eating it while I was in the Uber, so my food would get there after I got to work. And then I was Ubering it home.
Oh, you was really treating yourself.
I was like, but you can do anything. It's an app for everything.
It is an app for everything.
I was trying to find a machine.
I remember the first time I decided to cook dinner recently, right? Like, I think it was like November or December. And I was like, there's no groceries in this house. I was on my way home from work. I was ordering my shit as I rode up on the circulator. By the time I got to the house, the groceries pulled up.
Yep.
I paid that dude $5 to take them shits up the steps for me. And life has become
too convenient.
Yeah.
Like, I think to the point where we really are getting lazy and bigger and less toned and things like that.
But we can't remember things. I was faking like I was a bartender for a couple years because they had these apps that would just, all you had to do was whatever they bought in liquor, you just input it and it just showed you all the drink possibilities. And when somebody ordered, and I was real life people asking me to be a bartender, and I don't even drink, so it was crazy because I couldn't tell you what the difference between whiskey and rum, and I was really just. But it's an app for it.
There's an app for everything.
And the last time I got caught, I felt really guilty But I got $400 to do a bartender job.
Absolutely.
And I took this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he was mad because he thought he got a. But I made all the drinks, right?
Right. So why was he mad? He got a bargain because a lot of times, like when my friend CJ has her parties and she has these like lit parties, she pays her bartender like $1,500 to come in there. He has signature drinks and shit like that, but her parties be like that, right. You know. But he got you at a bargain rate. You didn't fuck up anything because you had an app.
Yeah, but I got them tips.
Right. So I mean, to me, that makes sense. But you know what the biggest thing is that I've realized, because you're right, you don't remember things. I don't remember everybody's phone numbers anymore.
How many phone numbers can you remember?
I know immediate phone numbers. Like I
know my aunts. I know my great aunts because her phone number's been the same.
For 15 years, 50 years. Like my grandmother's phone number's been the same forever. I actually still dial her number versus going grandma. You know.
What I do is I don't save numbers. I don't, because it forces you to have to
look through and start to recognize. I do the same thing. Like, you've got to be in my phone for a minute for me to save your number. Like I had your number, and if we conversed on like a regular basis, I probably would have saved it, and at this point probably would know it. Right. But I don't know your number, and like I could go through my text messages and probably read and figure out which one is you.
Right. But that's helping your brain do that. And that's what I force myself to do.
Yeah, I do it too.
I don't. And my mother's
like if you scroll through my text message, it's just numbers.
Yeah.
Just numbers. Like I think like my dad is saved in there, my mom, my son.
But even when you're doing that, your phone has predictor text, so you dial in the number and all the possibilities coming up.
Well, my iPhone doesn't do that.
Sorry.
No, my Android does.
See,
but I don't want it to predict.
I gotta say,
I'd rather just dial the number. And once, see, in the iPhone, if you dial the whole number, it'll tell you if you're right or not, if it's saved in there. But it won't predict who you're trying to call.
People give me checks. That's who numbers I have saved.
Right.
Those are the numbers.
I save everybody. I can't.
PayPal. Yeah, that number's in my phone. PayPal.
Right.
I don't want to have, because I know I'm gonna forget who number it is if it's not saved, and I'm gonna hit them with the who's this. I don't want to keep having to go through.
Yeah, the who's.
All you gotta do is say, hey, what's going on?
Because I don't know who I'm talking to. I walk around saying some shit I don't need to say to somebody.
You let them play that card first. You let them play that card.
That's too much. I'd rather just know who it is.
Well, see, if it's a booty number, then you gotta put a nickname in there or something. You gotta at least let your mind think about this for a second. We be too. I got to a point where I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember my own number. I had to literally go in my phone and look under like the settings to get your number, because I could not think. I was writing on some form and I was like, what's
part of it? Part of it was because like I got friends, I got people that I'm cool with, you know, numbers that are like familiar and stuff. But I forget them because if I don't hit nobody up, I don't hear from nobody.
That's me too. If I don't reach out, I don't really hear from people.
Yeah, unless I
right, because everybody, and you know, it's funny when you don't post.
Yeah,
I'll inbox you.
Right.
Because I haven't seen him.
Right.
I need to know he's good.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy, but and I'm not even on Facebook that often, as y'all know. Like I'm not on there. Like I'm not a scroller. When I come in the house, both these phones be off. I'm like, I'm home.
Yeah.
Don't bother me, you know. But you know, if I'm at work and I got a few minutes, I'll scroll to see, and I check on certain people. Like I look to see if you posted something. I'll look to see if you know, just certain people. And if I don't,
posting porn on my page.
Porn?
Just to get people attention. Just to, you know, just to spice.
And you know what's so funny? When I first but when I first made.
Just because people you get so predictable with people. I just want to, what the fuck?
Right.
One of those
One was what the fuck moments.
Going on? Just, you know.
He has a lot of what the fuck moments. Typically when I find him on Facebook, whatever the post is, I'm just like,
I be trying to start.
But like with, you know, with your post today though, he said something today. I know it was the second of two posts. I saw the first one, but the second one.
Oh yeah, you commented.
When I commented on it, and then you know it means a lot. It must have registered somewhere if I actually commented, because I don't always comment. I'll make sure you knew I saw it. I'll make some sort of feeling towards it, you know. But
The first post was.
I saw the first post, and I could see how it was a little twisted, like how people could have got it twisted.
Yeah, but fuck them.
Right.
It was like support should be about skill and talent, not about who you like more or who you find attractive. I would never make a person with a stutter a famous spokesperson just because he's my friend and he got swag. It's a business. You gotta learn to separate business and personal. And basically what I meant by that was,
so he made a second post and he elaborated what he meant by that, like a clarified.
Don't give names. I just want people to give names.
But see, no, that's the thing. It wasn't
even a particular thing.
It was just some shit I was feeling. So it was just like, so then my second post was, I'm not saying don't support your friends, but if they whack, tell them. Yeah. You feel me?
And what did I say?
And she was like, she said, if you're not willing or able to check me when I'm fucking up, then you're not a real friend. That's a fact. You feel me? The problem is, and I see it with a lot of older hip hop heads. They'll say, well, how did this weak shit get in the door? It's very simple. You can get a likable person. If I was popular in high school, I'd have been famous by fucking that.
Right.
Nobody liked me in high school. I was the best rapper in school, but nobody liked me in high school. And it was a motherfucker who was captain of the, no, he wasn't captain of the football team, but he was on the football team, and he rapped, and they fucked with him because he was popular.
Yeah.
They looked better, he had new shoes coming out shit, so they supported him easily when he came out and dropped his shit. Shit was phony.
It was crazy. Oh yeah.
We like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, so let's take a break and then we'll be right back. I think we're gonna have our last segment.
Fuck you flashy niggas.
Says the man with the gold hat on and big ass chain.
I'm still not white.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
I'll give you an example of mine, and this is real simple, but I know I'm not the only one that this happened to. So I went to Target last night, and I'm shopping. I'm just filling my cart with this and that. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, a little Christmas gift right there. Get to the register. They ringing it all up, and they say, ma'am, your total is blah, blah, blah. I open my wallet. I go in my wallet, and my debit card is not in there. I was caught slipping, y'all. I was caught slipping. Oh, my wonderful merchandise. I had to leave there at the store because I was caught slipping. I didn't have my card. Now, I know I'm not the only one that has happened to. For sure. Alright, so
before I walk into places I check, I'd be like, hold on, before I go in and touch anything, let me just
I know. I probably will do that now. I probably, hopefully.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Just talking shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're not feeling your work.
She either got her ass beat or she was ghetto. And then the picture of the wig was she got paid that day. So she took that shit off.
Got her hair done?
Yeah.
Oh,
a new one.
But that's basically what it is, man. And I like to pick apart artists, not for a bad way.
I just feel like people don't have passion in their life in general. Like, and I hate to say it like that, but I walk out the door every morning very passionate about what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up every morning and I look at my child and feel very passionate about rearing him correctly.
But that's drive.
No, but there's
passion is normally connected to I'm getting paid for this.
No,
I'm just
maybe. But all right, well, I have strong emotional ties to my work. Like, for instance, my favorite project I've ever done in my whole construction career was I built a cancer center, right? A cancer hospital out in Montgomery County. And the reason this particular, because I've built probably about 60 buildings now. The reason this particular structure moved me, and you could see that movement in my work, meditation rooms, it was a great flow to the space. You could feel my passion. Like, that was my masterpiece because I was building a building that saved lives. So it felt there, I connected with it. Not only being a cancer survivor, but knowing that this building has the potential to save millions. The same way I feel about communities. The reason why I feel so strongly about speaking to people when I make eye contact, I feel very strongly about it. Like, I feel like enough that I might catch an attitude.
Yeah.
I feel like you should feel that way about your art.
But people don't. They just trying to eat.
They're just trying to eat. And I get it. Sometimes you gotta make something that'll sell. But sometimes, like when you're doing your senior dissertation, that should come from your heart. You know what I did for my senior dissertation? Because I don't know, I was a fine arts major and a math major, right? I wrote an entire ballet in math equations. A 4-minute ballet in all math equations. So you had to do the math to see the movement. It moved one of my professors so bad that she started crying. Had no music to it. It was on graphing paper, dance notation, so nothing was bigger than, the tip of this pen. No graphic was bigger than that. It took me months and months and months to write it. But it was me. You know what I mean? It'd be like me choreographing, a river dance. I don't fucking do that shit. Yeah. It's good. I have a lot of respect for people who do it, because fuck their knees, but there was no passion there. You know what I mean?
The passion comes from the passion that you have for something comes from when you don't have anything else to turn to.
Like that mural, and you still do it.
If I didn't get money, if I didn't get opportunities to perform, at the end of the day, when I come home, I'm still gonna listen to music, write music.
Right.
You feel me?
Like, I have to be honest. I would do what I do for a living for free if I could afford it. Like, I love what I do.
I got like 8 books in the house full of rhymes that won't nobody ever get to hear.
Cause it just had to get out of you.
You feel me? Just cause I wanted to write it.
I got whole books in the house I've written.
And
nobody ever read them.
The crazy part about it is, if you want to live off your passion, there's a chance you can lose it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because the only way you can live off your passion is to get paid for it. But when you get paid for it, it becomes a demand.
Yeah.
When you have to do something that makes you not really want to do it.
It's one thing when you do what you love.
I was driving. I was drawing. I used to draw my ass off. And then I kept saying, yo, can you draw me a tattoo design? Can you do da-da-da-da?
It became work.
Anyone do it no more?
That's why some of the greatest people, like Sade, she only come out every 10 years. And she give you the same stage performance with the same
shit,
the same
shit.
But her music, it inspires you every time. And
she's the reason why I feel comfortable not having hair across my forehead. My father took me to go see her live when I was like 13 years old. Right, my forehead is big as shit, and you know I always had long hair, but I was one of those people who would comb it around the front, you know, to try to hide it. And my father would be like, "What's wrong with you? You pretty ass face, pull your hair back." And I wouldn't. Then he took me to see her. Well, but I mean, I may not have a 9 head, but I got at least an 8, you know. And
I give you about 6. About 5.5.
6.5. But Daddy said, look at her. She's considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. And she pulled her hair back. And she looks exactly the same. She's looked exactly the same my entire life. You know?
I just don't see that in a lot. Even some of the really good artists, I'm seeing they selling themselves.
I don't think people have passion in life at all. I don't see the passion in relationships, even like friendships. Like I just don't see the passion.
Even if you're great at writing. If that's not your passion, you bullshit in your life.
You bullshit in your life.
You're only doing what's paying you right now.
So where's your divine purpose? Why aren't we finding it?
Because people are satisfied with mediocrity. Yeah. They satisfied with because
I can't get with it.
I don't even think it's a fear of failure. Because failure is something we all can get comfortable with.
There is no failure. It's only lessons learned.
But it's fear and success because like
fear and success is serious.
If I'm good at this, I gotta
I gotta do it. The demand goes up.
Right. It becomes a job. I gotta do this. And then I gotta keep topping myself and that
gets hard. That's hard. Fearful. I feel like that now. Oh, okay. Well, have a great night, everyone.
You know, yeah, I gotta eat. My stomach.
Right.
I said he's dead. Oh,
6 years after he passed away.
It states she reportedly had heard rumors, but nothing substantial. But then you put the rumors to
while
death.
They were still married.
You sentenced the rumors to death.
While they still were married, she heard rumors.
Right. Okay. Probably all her life she's heard rumors. Like you're dating, you know you're dating your dad, right? Y'all look just alike.